Hi, welcome. My name's Natalie Havens. I am a school counselor here at Spanish Rivers. I have last names O to SB. And thank you so much for joining us for our coffee talk. Today, we're doing a coffee talk on GPA information. Super helpful information, especially for our newbie parents, maybe parents of ninth graders. But honestly, it's great information for any parents who our lingo in the academic world is a little bit unknown with GPA and HPA and all this. So this will be really helpful. We have a couple counselors here with us. Our first counselor here is Mrs. Wheatley, and she has last names CI to F.
Hi, good morning.
And we also have Mrs. Passatempo, and she has last names SC to Z.
Good morning.
Mrs. Passatempo is going to be presenting with us, so I'll go ahead and mute myself, and you can feel free to take it away, Mrs. Passatempo.
Awesome, thank you. Well, good morning, guys. I'm Ms. Passatempo. Today we're going to talk about GPA and HPA and how that calculates and what that means for moving forward and setting goals for college. So we're going to start simple. So GPA is a little different than the HPA. GPA is one of the most important factors that the college admissions process kind of evaluates a student on. The HPA is a weighted GPA. The GPA is regular grade point average, and that's unweighted. So that means all classes at any level are all calculated into this lump sum number or calculation. HPA goes by honors point average. So there's a lot of honors classes, a lot of dual enrollment classes. AP and ACE are all grouped into that HPA to calculate that number. Colleges like to see the HPA as high as possible because that's what drives the rigor for their programs. So I'm going to go ahead to the next slide. Awesome. So this is a good template, and I do share this with my students, especially the ones that want to be in that top 10%. It's going to go the far left column is the regular classes and how that's calculated. So if a student earns an A in a regular class would be like an art class, or English 1 is considered a regular class. If they earn an A, they get 4 qualifying points. If they get a B, that's 3 qualifying points, and so on and so forth. If they're in English 1 honors and they earn an A, they're going to get 4.5. That's that middle column there. So they'll get 4.5 qualifying points. And then so on and so forth if you look down for the other grades. Now, AP and ACE are on a 6-point qualifying point value system. So that's the highest they can earn, and that's AP, ACE, and dual enrollment. So if they earn an A in any of those 3 types of classes, the total points is 6 if they earn an A. Is there any questions about this chart? Oh, perfect. Okay, let's keep going. So just to do very simple math, if your grades are A, B, C, C, D, D, then you're going to get 14 qualifying points. So it's going to be 14 divided by the number of classes offered, which is 7 classes on the student schedule. So the GPA is 14 divided by 7, which brings them to a 2.0, which brings them to a C average. So let's keep it going. Okay. So students, if they start off a little bit like where they don't want to be, they can always make room for improvement, but it's very important to plan. So if they started lower, they would need to plan ahead with their counselor, their parents, their teachers, and they would need to earn all A's. So say they got like a 3.0, if they go to the next slide, it will take you to what they need to get. A 2.0, it'll take you to what they need to get. So scenario 1, a student finished a freshman year with a 2.0. So in order for them to get a 3.0, they will need all A's as a sophomore. So in those 7 classes as a sophomore, they will need to get all A's in all those classes to improve the GPA. And now bring it to scenario 2. If the student finished sophomore year with a 2.0, that means their junior year, the similar type situation, they're going to need all of A's to bring that GPA up. So the student,
You're right. I'm just going to slip in here real quick. It's saying kind of like if you freshman year, you get a 2.0, you get all A's the next year, you bring it to the 3.0. But if you're still at a 2.0 after 10th grade, you get all A's junior year, you're at a 2.66 just because you have so many more credits involved, right?
Yeah.
So it's like still like a struggle. We try to get them aiming for that 3.0 as freshmen.
Yeah. GPA also is calculated at the end of every semester, so it's not at every quarter. So every semester, you're going to see a new calculation in the GPA change. So here is how we grade non-EOC courses. So non-EOC courses are every single class except for biology, algebra 1, U.S. history, and which one am I forgetting? Algebra, bio.
Geometry.
Geometry, thank you. Yeah.
There's 4. Well, that'll be on our next slide, the 4.
Perfect. Okay. So quarter 1 is worth 40% of the student's grade. Quarter 2 is 40% plus their exam grade, which is 20%, and that will equate to semester 1 grade calculation, and so on and so forth for the quarter 3 and quarter 4. That and their exam grade for their end of the year test would be semester 2. So both of those semesters will give them that full year grade. So this is just a nice chart just to visually see if a student earns A first 9 weeks, A second 9 weeks, earns an exam grade of an A, B, or C, they will still get a final grade of an A. So EOC courses are calculated a little bit differently than our non-EOC courses. So we'll go ahead and kind of unwrap that. First quarter, it's 40%. Second quarter is 40%. The exam grade is 20%, and then their semester grade will be 100. Wait, I'm sorry.
That's
sorry,
for the non-EOC classes.
I was like,
right
yeah.
Underneath. Yeah, I kind of tricked you on that slide.
Sorry, you tricked me out. So first quarter is 15.4%. Second quarter is 15.4. Then they will take a midterm, and that will be worth 8.4%. Third quarter is 15.4. Quarter 4 is 15.4, and then they take their EOC end of the year state exam. That's worth 30% of their grade, and with all of that calculated, they'll earn their final grade. But please know that EOC classes are full year, so if they don't sit for the EOC exam, they will not get a full year grade, and they won't get a semester grade. These are not semester classes, so they need to sit for all terms plus the state exam in order to get their full year grade of 1 full credit. So it's a little bit different than our non-EOC classes.
Yes, and just keep in mind, I wrote 2022, but the last day of first quarter was actually October 12th, 2023, and the last day of second quarter is December 22nd, 2023.
Yeah. So we went over the EOC courses.
That's just another way to look at it.
Yeah.
Some people like to calculate it that all the 4 quarters plus the midterm, if you calculate all of that, that's 70% of their grade, and the EOC's.
So grade forgiveness is a cool thing that we are able to offer our students. If a student earns a D or an F in a class, they can reattempt the class that they earned a D or an F in for grade forgiveness. They need to earn a C or better in order for that grade forgiveness to go into effect. What that means is mathematically, the D or an F no longer negatively impacts their GPA. However, every attempt that they've taken the class will always show on the transcript. So if a student fails English 1 semester 1 and earns a D English 1 semester 2, they can retake English 1 semester 1 and semester 2 for grade forgiveness, but they need to earn a C or higher.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's important to know it's just for semester and year-long grades.
Yes.
We'll want them in this position, but it's nice it's there in case.
Mm-hmm. So basic graduation requirements, this is important knowledge to have. The students need the required 24 credits to graduate. This is standard for all state Florida schools. They need to pass their 10th grade FSA with a level 3 or above. And if not, we do have concordance available. They also need to do Algebra 1 EOC with the same thing, level 3 or above. They need a minimum 2.0 in all of their classes, so a minimum 2.0 GPA in all of the classes. They need 1 full credit of PE. That could be team sports or personal fitness, or that could be HOPE on FLVS for the full year. On FLVS, they call semester segments, but that would be segment 1 and segment 2. Or they can do 2 years of a JV or varsity sport. There is a waiver for marching band students, but that will only cover that PE elective piece, that won't cover that personal fitness portion of that requirement. The students do need to take one practical or performing fine arts credit, and they need 20 hours of community service hours. Perfect. So we do have free peer tutoring. National Honor Society provides this. It's offered during both of our lunches in room 3101. So if the students do need some peer tutoring, they would use the QR code, right, Mrs. Havens, to sign up.
Yeah, we're asking them for safety reasons for them to get in the building. We're asking them to sign up, and they use that QR code to sign up so they know they have a pass to go in the building.
Got it. So if you have a student that's struggling in any area, they can go ahead and use this service.
Yeah, and then we have the math club too. That's awesome. Specifically in math, National Honor Society will tutor in any subject, but obviously our math club specializes in math subjects. But thank you so much, Mrs. Passatempo. At this point, yeah, thanks. At this point, I'm going to stop recording, and then if you guys have any questions live, we can take them now.